this video on creating a histogram and relative frequency histogram from a dataset using RGuroo. Let's get started. So a histogram is a type of graph or plot, so we're going to select plots. Then we're going to select create plot and we're going to go down to histogram. When we do this, the menu comes up here. And so the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to select a dataset. So I'm going to go down to Unit 2 RGuroo Practice Dataset. Okay. The next thing I have to tell the software is what variable we want to use, and right now it can see two different quantitative variables, siblings and age, and just for practice we can use both of them, but let's just start with siblings. So if I select siblings, that is enough. Just the data set and the variable is enough to generate an output. So let's go ahead and look at it. Okay, and if I go down here, you can see here's my histogram. Now let's say that I wasn't happy with the size or the width of my bars here. What could I do? For example, this represents number of siblings, and you and I both know you can't have half a sibling, so this is not very meaningful. So how could we change that? Well, I can go back to my basics menu, and what I want to do is come over to this part of the menu where it says bins and bars, and I'm going to select this. So instead of using this method, I want it to begin with number 1, and the width, I want the width of 1, meaning 1 sibling. So now that I changed that, let's look at the results. Okay, so now look at this. It's still unfortunately labeling these in half numbers, but now the width of my bars is more appropriate to the data that I'm working with. So let's look at some of our other options. If you look up here in the top right hand corner, I can also title my graph. So this would be number of siblings. Okay, and that should be the same title for the x-axis, and then of course my y-axis is just my frequency. Okay, and so if I hit this again, then there we go, we have a title for the x-axis, the y-axis, and a title for the graph itself. Some other options, if you look at the value label, I could select counts. And when I do that, then it puts the actual height or the count here on each bar. And if I go back here, I could also select percent. So let's see what that would look like. So this says 38, and it tells me that 38 is 83% of the total data. And I could also just select percents and not counts if I wanted to. So I have a bunch of options there. So the last option we're going to explore is over here where it says type instead of frequency. I want to select relative frequency and see what happens. So notice when I select relative frequency, now these percents are actually what's being graphed. So this is 83%, this is 8.7%, and so on and so forth. So now that you've watched this video, you should be able to generate both a frequency and a relative frequency histogram in RGuroo.